If you have a narcissistic or toxic person in your life who is an energy vampire and drains your energy, this talk is for you, my friend. What's up? I'm Keith Kalfas, and I'm obsessed with personal development. That's all. Let's get into it. So, I've watched some videos on YouTube and listened to stuff and even read books about psychology, narcissists, toxic people, all the way into stuff from the esoteric, etheric, spiritual, all the way down to pathologies, neurosis, and psychosis. Just in fascination with psychology of what makes people tick, what makes toxic people tick, and why do toxic people make you feel so filled with guilt, and they know how to pull levers that can make you respond and hurt your feelings, basically, or make you angry, and or have that anger, like Eckhart Tolle talks about, the pain body jumps from them. And I'm going to break this down onto you, and then it can jump from you to someone else. Here's what can happen. For example, let's just say there's a toxic person. Let's say you're in your household and within your four walls, and a toxic person could even send you as little as a toxic text message or call you on the phone and say something toxic. And I just keep repeating the word toxic because I can go down the line of like rude, disrespectful, triggering, guilt tripping, blackmailing, energy sucking, whatever they can do to get their narcissistic supply, they call it. They eat off of it. They want that type of attention. So if they don't get it, then they'll literally violate your boundaries in order to get, and they'll get negative attention if they have to, but they have to get it. So let's say you're having a peaceful moment in your home, and this toxic person maybe calls you or messages you or leaves a message. And now that very thing has caused total chaos in your home or in your place of work, anything like that. If you hear that noise, that's my beautiful dog behind me. Well, two of them, they're eating on chewy, they're eating dog bones, so they're in heaven right now. All right. So this whole theory of no contact does make sense. Here's what I mean. You know how energy magnets repel? If you flip a magnet around, it sticks. If you put the polarities together, they repel, right? And imagine that every single time a person who has toxic traits does something that's rude or mean or downright abusive, it's just like if you just stand in your square, you just stand there in presence, in love and faith. Every time they do something that's disrespectful, imagine that they just push themselves farther away from you. They made a withdraw from the emotional bank account. Now they're going to have to make a bunch of positive deposits into that emotional bank account to earn your trust to get close to you again, and you're still going to have your guard up. Now, if they make a withdrawal and they do something mean or say something mean or rude or horrific, boom. All right. Now let's just say it takes a long time, then they do something again, boom, they just push themselves back farther. They did it to themselves, right? And now if you even try to conversate with a narcissistic person and let them know, hey, every time you do something mean or rude or you invalidate or hurt or be abusive to me or somebody that I love, it's just going to push back. You're just pushing yourself. If you even try to engage in logical conversation, they will find a way to take your words through like sophistry and casuistry, and they'll twist them and they'll use them as ammunition to attack you, to try to make you feel guilty, or to try to flip it around on you to make you so upset and so wobbly that it's highly disturbing. And then it'll mess up your whole household and everything you're doing. It'll mess up your career. It'll mess up your marriage, your relationships, everything. Because you tried to have a logical conversation with a narcissist. You know what I'm saying here? You tried to come from a place of love and have a. So there's books. I've read 476 books now. This is my phone I'm recording on, actually. It's sitting on a stack of books. I love to read and learn. And so the narcissist, you can't come from a place of love, even in a place of curiosity. So there's a book called Difficult Conversations. There's another book called Crucial. One second. Hey, what are you doing? He's going to town on that bone. That's my other little dog. There's another book called Crucial Conversations. There's all types of books about wu-wei verbal defense techniques and tactics, how to deal with mean people type stuff. And so basically, if you get upset and angry and combative towards these people and say, hey, you're not going to blah, 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 and then, sometimes if it's coming from the heart and it's reprimanding and showing them the truth, a righteous type of anger, I'm not advising you, but it might be proper if it's calibrated, is the key word, calibrated in the moment. But a lot of times with a narcissistic person, they're looking for you to get upset and yell or even scream. I know of a toxic person who starts fights with people in their friends and family group all the time. They're constantly in a fight with somebody. There's constantly an enemy, and sometimes it's everybody. And as soon as they're done draining one person, and that one person completely blacks them and just can't take it anymore and is done with them, then they'll go and feed off the next person. And they'll keep going around and around and around. If they can't get those people to respond, then they'll literally invent and engineer situations to get those people highly upset. And it's a toxic type of thing. So there's something called the mean sweet cycle. I want to talk about real quick. It's like a pendulum. A narcissist, if they know they can't, if you've put your guard up, this is the most important part I want you to pay attention to. If you can't get if a narcissist can, they can't pull strings and make you respond anymore. Imagine that your chest has got a bunch of strings and buttons all over it, and the narcissist can press your buttons because they know how to get you to respond. One second. I just did like 10 burpees before this video. I'm doing a burpee challenge. 10 burpees a day. That's all. You could do 50 if you want. For just 10 days. We did 100 push-ups a day for 30 days, and that was a little excessive. All right, so the mean sweet cycle. If the narcissist knows that whatever they're doing and trying isn't working, then they'll literally do the mean sweet cycle. One second. It's roasting in here. It's like 100 degrees. Watch him start barking. Oh. So they'll become incredibly sweet. The narcissist will become incredibly sweet. So nice and light and funny and silly and laughing and caring, compassionate, and you will go, oh my gosh, this is the person that I love. This is the nice I knew you were in there. Wow. And what they're doing is they're being really sweet so they can get you to let your guard down. It's weird. Like, if you're a good human and you have a good heart, you will let your guard down. Like, oh, maybe they were just having a bad day. As soon as you let your guard down, the narcissist will come in and stick you and start drinking. They've really just baited you. It's a bait and switch. I know this sounds really mean, because if you're a really good person and you're an empathic person and you can't even imagine that there's bad people in the world, and I'm not saying it's just relative, because sometimes somebody who is a narcissist is somebody who's just the quality of their life is low, and they're suffering and they're hurting and they don't feel loved, or they don't feel worthy of love, and they're hurting inside, and hurt people hurt people. So sometimes people become so incredibly jealous and envious of other people that they can't take it anymore, and they start becoming vindictive, they start becoming revengeful, they start becoming spiteful, they start wishing ill things on other people who are happy and doing well, because they cannot stand to see the other person smile and be happy and have fulfillment and do well. But it's usually something the narcissist is avoiding, that they don't want to take responsibility for their own life. So it's just a sad situation. And so, but my takeaway here is that if you have a toxic person in your life who has toxic traits, I want you to focus on breathing and pre-deciding in advance how you're going to deal with them. And if that person upsets other people around you as well, and it comes back on you, this is how this happens, this pain body, pre-decide that you're going to stay calm and sure, and just keep reminding that person is a narcissist. Like, hey, if we get angry here, or we try to tell that person off, or give them a piece of your mind, that's what they're looking for. They want to get you so upset that it destroys anything you have good going on, because misery loves company. So you're disarming the darkness. Power versus Force by Dr. David R. Hawkins. He talks about this as well. Another book is Falling Down and Getting Up by Mark Nepo. There's a lot of resources that can make you go from feeling disempowered and emotionally hijacked to becoming fully empowered, calm, stable, and conscious, and handling your own emotions. And you can learn how to deal with a toxic narcissist calmly, in a productive, proactive way, to where even if they're upset and going crazy because what they're doing or trying to do isn't working on you anymore. And that's a really hard. It's once you draw these. This is the next thing. Once you draw these new healthy boundaries, you draw these lines in the sand. They're just healthy boundaries, and sometimes healthy boundaries have to be firm. Hey, we're not gonna go there anymore. So when a person hurts you, or if you open up to a person and they use it as bait or leverage to hurt you, they no longer deserve to get that part of you anymore, right? If you're open with somebody and you share your feelings with them, right, or maybe a shoulder to cry on, and they use it against you, that's not the type of person you can cry on their shoulder. They've already proven it. Somebody said to me once, when somebody shows you their true colors, believe them. That sounds like a harsh thing, right? So people forget what you say sometimes, but they never forget how you made them feel. So I want you to practice having open compassion, caring, loving empathy. If somebody's going through a hard time, somebody especially that you love, shut your mouth and just listen. Say, are you okay? How are you doing? Don't try to fix things. Oh, you should do this, you should do that. Don't invalidate them. Just listen and love them and let them be, and just support them and be there for them, and have good manners, and just be conscious. It takes practice. And so the more conscious you become is the more you can get to the point. Imagine, my dream one day is to get to the point where I have such consciousness and wisdom, and I'm so powerful and so spiritual, and not in an egotistical way, in a loving the Lord type of way, that if somebody comes at me with some, Tries to, like a narcissist, a toxic person who's just hurting, wants to, just be hurtful when they really just need help, or they just need a hand, or they want someone to listen to them. I want to get to the point where my very presence is just like, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? Are you okay? Right? Hey, what's going on? What got you to this place where you're so upset? Something like that. I'm taking this master class right now by Chris Voss, the master negotiator. It's amazing, right? And so if you feel attacked, then your like amygdala is going to fire, and you're going to go into fight or flight mode, and you're going to like get really defensive. But I'm saying in every moment you're either opening or closing. At every moment you're either closing and clamping down like a shell, or you're opening. Practice breathing and staying present and open, and an empathy, but not a type of empathy where their monkey can, because they're trying to get their monkey off their back because they don't want to take responsibility. They're trying to put that on your back. Imagine somebody who's always trying to put the monkey on your back in all situations, and they don't want to fix their problem. I mean, you're not their doctor. Excuse me. So, and then as soon as you accept the monkey, or what is it? Is it the monkey on the back? I think it was called. I forgot. There's a different name for it. But as soon as you let them put their monkey on your back, they're like, oh, now they're relieved, and they don't want anything to do with you. And then they just come around just to put their monkeys on your back. You deserve better than that. You deserve better than that. You deserve so much more than that. All right, I'm Keith Kalfas. I hope that served you. If you like these type of talks, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below. Again, I am not a doctor or a therapist. I'm just a guy who loves personal development, and I love my life. I love the Lord above, and there you go.